The CO, they behind me, visiting room over here. You come here, you take a picture, but when y'all come up, I got a shoebox that I have my all my equipment in. You dropping drugs in there. I cover it up, flip the box, y'all back up, take the picture, boom, boom, I got your drugs. That's how I'm moving mass drugs in.
Through a shoebox.
Through a shoebox. And mass drugs, it's like a half pound at a time. But this is just a community that I'm dealing with. So that's a lot of drugs when you're just dealing with a neighborhood. So you know what I'm saying? So, and it's hard to get in. But now that I'm moving mass quantity because I'm doing it right and everybody trusting me, I'm not only doing it for the organization, the JC organization, I'm doing it for you too. Come on, drop your package. Just give me this. You want some? Just give me this. So I'm flooding the whole institution. I don't even realize what I'm doing. It's 10 blocks at Warren. It was never a time where I didn't have eight of them I had drugs in. It might be yours, but they all came in because of me. Everything is in here because of me. One motherfucker doing this, but they ain't figured it out. But now, you know, more people get involved, they're gonna start talking. I got wind. It's over with. Shut that shit down quick. But I'm moving up in the organization. It's a real life organization. It's crazy. It's politics. Like I say, everything that go on out here is going on in there. And that organization, the bullshit and all that, the cutthroat, it's going on in there because there's money to be made. It's positioning to do. So they really on some cutthroat, like putting out hits, trying to get me caught with this, beat me up, stab me, get me out the way, all for these positions. Like wow, this is really going on.
Would you consider that your all-time high moment in prison?
Yeah, definitely.
What would you consider your all-time low?
I don't even think I had one at Warren. Outside of the hole.
Outside of
When I went to the hole, and I was in there for 45 days, and that stemmed from the JCs.
What's the worst prison you stayed at?
London Correction.
What made it so bad at London?
The whole mentality of the staff and the guards. I mean, it was like a black cloud over that place. I never. It's just weird. I can't explain it. It was like a movie. It's like the mentality of those guards was like they didn't mess with anybody. They wasn't trying to hustle. They didn't want to kick it. They wasn't cool. They wasn't bringing in no food,
Strictly
no
business.
drinks. It was just like robots.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my God. If I would have started there, I'd have went crazy. If I would have went there first, when I got sentenced, if I would have went there instead of Warren, and if I started off my bit like that, I'd have went crazy. It was time for me to go home. But by the time I got to London, I had 14 in, because I think I did 4, and that's where I left from London. I went
So
home.
how did your release come about? Like, how did that happen? How did you get out? It's
man.
just like, because you said you got 10 years after parole. So if I'm doing the math, 2000, you said, how did you get out?
Right. So in 2000, I catch the 10, but what was it in 08? The feds stepped in because the parole board was abusing their authority. I got those 10 years and they justified it on paper saying they gave me time for what my indictment was. I was indicted for premeditated murder, which is the highest.
Yeah.
I was in prison for murder. The parole board said, fuck what you in here for.
Yeah.
We're gonna give you time for what you was indicted for. So they was saying null and void to all plea agreements, which is a legal binding contract with the courts. You can't, this is it's an agreement with the courts. He was sentenced this. You can't do anything in this category of premeditated. He was sentenced to this. So they was going above and beyond.
Yeah.
So they revamped everything, which made me go back to the parole board in 8 years. Boom, they gave me a parole. These slimy motherfuckers, whenever they give you a parole, then they contact the victim's family and say, listen, we gave him a parole. If you want to stop it, you can write a stop letter. So they give me a parole. They call the victim's family, tell them, write a stop letter, we gotta stop. That's what they do. 2 weeks later, case manager called me in there saying, listen, I knew what it was. You calling me in here. I already know. I see the look on your face. I know what's going down. They're about to revoke that parole. So I go in there and that's what she tell me. Yeah, you know, they taking this, she go through the process of what happened, blah, blah, blah. They did the stop letter. This is what's gonna happen. Your family, lawyer, or whoever you want to represent you have to meet up in Columbus at the parole board. The victim's family and whoever they bring, they're gonna meet up there. You say that your people argue. I don't get to go. It's just I gotta send my team. And the family come, the victims come. They meet up in Columbus, talk to the entire parole board, and plead the case. It's never been done before. You know, 9 times out of 10, whenever that happens, yeah. So yeah, after the feds step in and override the parole board, they come back in. I see the parole board in 2008. They give me the parole. 2 weeks later, like I said, my case manager, they come in, they tell me they had revoked it. They revoked my parole. That's when I call mom. I tell her what happened. She immediately get in touch with Dr. Levitt. And at that time, oh man, the judge that sentenced me was the doctor's patient. And mom had told doc, like, yeah, you know, this is the judge that sentenced him. He's like, yeah, well, she's a patient of mine. So they had spoke about, you know, like, hey, you know, his mother works for me, been working for me for years. She's like, oh yeah, I remember that case. I'll never forget him because I always felt he was really remorseful for what happened. And it was like, you know, she just remembered. She said it was 2 cases there, and I was one of them. She remembered. So it stuck out. So he told her, like, yeah, well, he's going to the parole board. She had wrote a letter to the parole board saying that, you know, I sentenced him to prison. I sentenced him to 15 life. I do not oppose him being released. That's why they gave me that parole. But then they took it, like I said, they revoked it. So when they did that, I called mom and tell her what happened. She called doc. He get in touch with the judge. Tell her what's going on. They find out the date that they all have to meet in Columbus. When they find out the date, they all meet up in Columbus, and a representative who had came to the prison, who had saw me, that because once the doctor had told the judge that my mother worked for, she was like, oh yeah, she had sent somebody to come speak to me just to see what my mind was. So I had a surprise visit. I didn't even know this was coming up. So I had a surprise visit. But I go out there, and it's this white guy. You know, he's like, I'm Jim Dare. You know, Judge Gorman sent me to speak to you just to, to get my take on you and see, what's going on with you. So we sat down. I went into the lawyer's room. We sat down. We talked. I said, listen, I apologize for my appearance because I didn't get groomed up. You'd always get groomed up for a visit because your people coming, but I didn't because I didn't like surprise visits. So anybody that was coming with a surprise, I didn't care. So I just went out there all sweaty. So I told him, I said, I apologize for my appearance, but I said, you can take $100 bill, ball it up, throw it in the mud. It's still worth $100. It's still worth $100 whether it's crispy or not. I say so, and I told him why I was looking all dusty. But I said, nevertheless, he said, I want to know about the case, what you've been doing while you're in here, and what you want to do when you get out. So for an hour, I think it was an hour and 20 minutes, I just talked and told him everything. He shook my hand, left, went straight to the judge's chambers and said that man needs to get out. And that's what prompted her to go ahead and write the letter to the parole board. She wrote that letter. They gave me that. Like I said, they took it back. So I called her. We get back in touch with her. Now everybody's up in Columbus. 2 dudes walk in. They speak to Jim Dare, who was my attorney speaking on my behalf. They speak to him and speak to the parole board, and they say, hey, we are prosecutors from Montgomery County. We're here to let you know that we're aware that, Todd Jason Bevel was up for parole. And they couldn't say that they don't oppose it. I say, man, what was it? I gotta think about that one. Because they couldn't say that they didn't oppose it. Matter of fact, I just think that's all they did was say, yeah, that they were,
They didn't oppose it.
no, what are they, against you?
They don't.
No, what's the ones that are against you? Not your attorney, your
prosecutor.
prosecutor. They were prosecutors from Montgomery County. And they say, we, here to witness this hearing with Todd J. Bethel, and that was it. That's all they had to say. And they knew then that they didn't oppose it because they didn't say it. If they did oppose it, they would have said, we oppose that, but they didn't say anything. They just acknowledged who they were and that they were here for that. So they let the parole board know that they didn't oppose it. So they're like, what the hell is going on? We never had that. So now they like, what do we do? This has never happened before. We got these, two prosecutors saying that they're here and they don't oppose this. We got all these white folks with this black lady saying that, hey, we got his back as soon as he get out. So they was like, they gave me my parole back. And that's how I was released. And man,
Damn, that's crazy.
woo, it was some strings that had to be pulled because if they didn't, I would have been railroaded.
Yeah.
The parole board wasn't going to, they had already gave me 10 and said, when you come back, we're going to give you probably about 2 or 3 more years. They had said that then. So I know, okay, yeah, you got me back in my right parameters,
Yeah.
but what are you going to do when I go back up to the parole board? You're still going to stretch me out. So, yeah.
So what was it like, man? Like the whole transition, like, 'cause I know you don't just get out right away when you get your parole. You still gotta.
Oh yeah, when you get parole, you got, 60 days and an out.
60 days, you got sit. So what's
60
going
days
on
and an out.
now?
60 days and an out means that you got 6 days and the next day is your out date.
6 days?
60.
You know, then when you get parole, then you get 60 days to wait.
Yeah.
I done seen it before. Like
Yeah.
I seen a dude do 25 years and get parole.
And everybody, it's mandatory that you do at least 60 days because that's gives them enough time to get paperwork in order to see where you're going, to send a parole officer to the home that you're going to, make sure it's in a decent neighborhood, and stuff, all that. That's to give them time and to give you time to see where you're going. You know what I'm saying? If you need a halfway house, and if you did so much time, they really don't want to let you go. They want you to go to a halfway house because they feel that you can't function.
Yeah.
Right. So it's crazy, but man, to get out was like, ooh. But that 60-day stretch, I don't even remember that 60-day stretch. I don't. When I got my parole back, man, it was like, that's it. I just remember getting it back.
Yeah, you were just high for that next.
Yeah, for the next 60, I don't even remember just my dude, Tone Stallings, oh man, Step,
Tone.
Berdine, oh man. Yeah, it was just, man. I was just working out, getting things in order on the phone, and but man, that was.
What was that call like to your mom when you told her you got 60 days?
Well, she knew before I did, because she was there.
Oh, okay.
So she knew that they gave it back. Matter of fact, I think I called, she the one told me if I ain't mistaken. Before they knew, because it's the paperwork takes forever.
Yeah.
So, she knew immediately.
Yeah.
So when she got home, I knew what time she was around what time she would be home. And when I called, I don't even remember how it went down. I just remember that I called and
First day. You didn't know.
Yeah, what was that first day like when you got out?
First day when I got out.
First day out.
First day out, mom picked me up. Going through that process of just leaving. You're walking up out this dorm, it's over. 18 and a half years, man. It's like, damn, I'm walking about this bitch, man. Like,
How you feel when that gate closed for the last time? I know it's a real loud noise.
well, it's not a gate, it's a heavy ass door. At London. At London, it's a door, because they don't take you out the back way. You literally go out the front door. All the officers go in and out of, and all that. You going out the front door, but you go out through the visiting room. So, but it's like a section that we never go to.
Yeah.
So it was like another part of the
This
business.
was
It was
a
like through
real
there, like, damn, I finally get to go through these motherfucking doors. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I've seen that. You know what I'm saying? Business and everything, walk through it. So now I'm going through there. So we go through there, and it's like, now we getting the name, this, that, and other, getting all the little formalities to make sure if you got any medication, they giving you your last, I think they give you like 2 months, like, you know, all that. So it's like, man, yeah. And your $75 check, I think it is. And you get $75 and whatever else was in your account, if you had that. So yeah, you get that, and you dressed out into the clothes that, you know, you done got, you get a clothes box.
Yeah.
So you get to dress out into your clothes, and yeah, I didn't have on nothing but some plain old black sweats and a black t-shirt, and man, I felt like $1 million. Walked out there and got in the truck with moms, and whoo, like, oh man, we going down 70, and I said I just want to get some blueberry pancakes, a Western omelet, and some orange juice. And we went to Cracker Barrel.
What was
After
your
that,
mom's reaction to seeing you again?
huh?
What was your mom's reaction
Without
to seeing you again?
shackles. Without shackles, though.
It was all smiles. You know, it was just like, it was just all smiles. And but for real, it really wasn't, it wasn't that, don't get me wrong now, I was excited. But it was like, fuck that, I'm like, finally I'm where I'm supposed to be. It wasn't like, woo, I was, like I said, I can't explain it. I wasn't like jumping for joy. I was definitely hyped, I was definitely excited, all that. But I was not what you think I would have been for 18 and a half years. It was more like, now I'm about to do my thing. Now I'm about to do my motherfucking thing now. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm out. I'm where I'm supposed to be. They don't let me go. It's like, whoo, it's on.
So I know you had said it took you a long time to really process, like, damn, I'm about to do at least 10 years in here. How long did it take you to realize, like, damn, I'm finally out and I'm, like, free again?
First day. First day.
So it kicked
One,
in
I
instantly
think
this time.
I went to Cracker Barrel, we ate. Then I went to Macy's, got some clothes,
What you get?
got some basic stuff. Of course, I needed everything, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I got basic stuff, you know. I got some polo jeans, you know, just some basic stuff there. And then went to Kohl's, got some basic stuff, drawers, you know, this, that, and other.
Yeah.
Went home, changed, and that's when it felt good. Like, when I got the real clothes on, and mom, it tripped mom out.
Real
She said,
mattress.
yeah, mom was like, she said when I came, cause she pulled up at the garage, I get out, I go in there, drop my stuff off, change, put on some clothes that I just bought, come out, and she said when I came out and she seen me in the real clothes, she said that's when it hit me, like, wow. She's like, it was like a glow, like,
She had never seen you in a
like,
jumpsuit in the last 19
like
years.
it's real. It's real now. It ain't no, all the prison gone. See, I still had my prison, it was a sweatsuit, you know, but it was still from prison. So when I got changed, she saw it, and it was like,
Was there
he's
anybody
home,
else
he's
that
home.
you intended on seeing on your first day out?
What you say?
Was there anybody else that you intended on seeing on your first day out?
Nah, I didn't, no. But,
What's going through your head right now?
I already know. I already know. Ooh, I know. I already know.
Is that
I'm with you, bro. Alright, I feel that shit. I feel that shit. For sure. I'm just 2 years ago. I know exactly how that shit feel. You being a whole different, like, yeah, that shit crazy. Like, he grew up in that bitch. I know, so I'm with you, bro. You can let that shit out. I swear to God. That ain't nothing like it. It ain't nothing like that, bro. It ain't nothing like that. People you lost, the everything hit you like it's everything hit you, bro. Like when you do a long time,
Man, that was deep.
let's go though. We here now. We here now. You hear me? We here now. You know, been here.
But see, that's what it is. My pop's not. He didn't get to see me come home, man. When I went to the parole board, they gave me that time. About 6 months later, he died. And my sister and them told me that once I got that time, he gave up fighting. I heard the decisions you make don't only affect you. I didn't know what that meant for a while until I went to the parole board. Not just for my family, but the victim's family. That's when I realized how much pain I did some shit. But like I say, I had to. You know what I'm saying? I had to. I don't say that to try to justify what I did. I just seriously feel that's what I had to do. But like I say, when I got headed that parole board, it woke me up to like everybody else that I did affect. And it wasn't just about me. The tears that I'm crying, they ain't for me. 18 and a half years for a decision that I made, split second, man. Like, wow, like, it was easy, too easy. Like I say when I talk about how easy it was, I don't try to glorify it. I just try to let it be known. The shit that I went through, the shit that I was on, the shit that happened, the shit that's real, the shit that's going on, the shit I see on First 48. How motherfuckers is fucking up their lives over some bullshit. I've been there, done that. Like I say, it ain't just about me, man. It's like I say, when I miss my pops, I fucked things up for him, the victim's family. A lot of shit went down, man, but it's fucked up. You know, I mean, that's something I'm gonna have to live with for the rest of my life, and I will. And I mean, I can handle it. Like I say, it's still, regardless that I feel, you know, I had to, it still hurt. You know what I'm saying? And people always ask me, could I kill again? And definitely. If I feel, you know, I got, you know, like I say, it's a tragedy. I don't want to do it. I'm not trying to do it. But I feel if I'm going to defend myself and it happens, yeah, you know, I could do it again. But I try to live the life so I don't get myself in a predicament where that'll have to happen. That's all I can do.
Word.
That's all I can do.
That's probably the best.
Save yourself from you. Your life is in your hands. Choose wisely. Choose wisely. I was just 15, running with them niggas that I shouldn't be around. I don't even know how I made it this far. I should be dead laying in a graveyard. My daddy said be careful, but I never got the message. I was just a young nigga trying to live reckless. Looking up at God, telling her all my confessions. How did I survive, Lord? I got so many questions. Bro committed suicide, I just wanna hear you. Why didn't you tell me that you was hurt? I could've healed you. Smiling and laughing and making jokes was your closure. I blame myself cause we should've been closer. Gotta keep it pushing, but I can't lose focus. Life is a game that is only for the boldest. Bodies falling like raindrops, it's getting colder. Nowadays you can catch a bullet in your stroller. You can be the hero or let the devil take over. You can be the Batman or you can play the Joker. You can make it out and do what's better for the culture. Or ride with that pain like a motherfucking chauffeur. Trump in the office going dumb, dropping bombs and locking foreigners in cases. And I ain't forget about the menaces in jail. Wrongly accused, living years in a cell. Kids losing fathers and the mothers go through hell. Working 3 jobs, still ain't got enough for bail. By the time she get it, her son is in there too. Cause he was in them streets putting niggas on the news. Thought you was winning, in reality you lose. The sad part is that this shit don't end. One man's body is another man's friend. He gon' come back tryna get his revenge. And he ain't trippin', he ain't missing. He gon' shoot this Scottie Pippen. He gon' come around with niggas who was born inside these trenches. And they don't give a fuck, the living hit the baby in your hands. They don't give a